Hello, my friends. I am coming to you today to show you how I do my second fermentation of kombucha. One of these days, hopefully soon, I'll actually do a video on how I make my kombucha. So what we do is first we start with our kombucha. Now this is my pine needle kombucha, and then my standard basic kombucha. And I have some empty jars and a few fruit, and I have a little bit of my apple cider left over that when we went to the apple orchard and it was so cute, all the grandkids, they got to squeeze out all the apples and make apple cider. So I have a little bit left, and I'm going to put that in there. And one moment, I'm going to grab a few more fruits out of the freezer. So I don't have a lot of I like wide mouth because you're going to be putting chunks in, so it's easier to get in and out. The regular jars, they're just too narrow, so I use wide mouth. And I only have a couple that aren't full, and then I have the big one. So using what I've got, so I'm going to start with the pineapple kombucha, and I'm just going to, hold on one second. I was being so wonderfully organized, and I was wrong. Okay, so I do like you. I use a strainer. You can't use metal. Well, you can once it goes in there. Metal can't touch the pectol, the SCOBY. Metal can't touch it because it has some sort of chemical reaction and it kills it off. But it won't touch it because we're pouring the kombucha out. And so and I fill it to about right to the neck part where it starts to go up. And then the pine needle kombucha is really good with lemon and with ginger. So I already sliced some up. So I'm going to put some lemon and some ginger in here. And I don't have a lot, unfortunately. So I'm going to save a couple pieces for the next. I have one more jar to fill. So Mother Hubbard's cupboard. I haven't been to the store in a while. Ever since I came back, well, we were going, and then the smoky weather, and then the cold weather, and I just am not been feeling well. And so I've been doing a lot of resting and relaxing, and I haven't been able to make it to the grocery store in quite some time. Thankfully, I had stuff stocked up that we've been able to eat so far, but it's getting slim. Like, I didn't even have a full lemon. I had just a couple slices of lemon. So, but then you just put it on loosely, put the lids on loosely. Now, these are going to start to ferment, and so they're going to let off gases. And so every day you just burp them. Just remember to burp them every day. They do build up pressure, and I have had bottles explode and make a horrible mess. And my beloved husband cleaned the walls and the ceiling for me because that's how he is. So the next one is my basic kombucha. I have a little bit more in here. You're always going to want to save back about a cup of liquid, and there's a little bit more, but I have to find a different jar. So I'm going to just go with my basic kombucha. Now the difference is, and I'll share with the recipes. Basically, the regular kombucha is made with black tea. Now, I can't do a lot of caffeine, and it does transfer through because it's like an iced tea. So I use mostly all decaf black tea, and I'll put 2 or 3 tea bags of caffeine in there, caffeinated, because it does require a little bit of caffeine, or it works better with a little bit of caffeine. And the pine needle, now see, this one's going to do a lot better. And so that's about a cup of liquid. So I'm going to leave that. And it does evaporate, and I will probably pull out some of those pectils and the scobies and get rid of them. If anybody's interested, if you'd like one, if you live locally, I can meet with you and get you one, and you can get started with your own kombucha. So anyway, that's the basic. Okay, with this, I love blueberry. Blueberry is it ferments well, it flavors well, and so I usually will always make a blueberry. And these are just blueberries out of the freezer. And my other favorite is pineapple, but I don't have any frozen pineapple. What I do throughout the summer when there's an abundance of fruits, and there's just me eating them, because really Rusty doesn't eat much fruit, and being diabetic, he just doesn't. So a lot of those starts to go bad. So when they're not looking great, then I'll slice them up or cut them up and just throw them in a bag that's fruit, that's for smoothies or for kombucha. And it's always best when you can recognize what the fruit is, and I can't say that I always can. I do know that these are cuties, so I'll pop some cuties in. And these look, oh shoot, I was gonna do, okay, change my mind. I'm gonna throw this in with the lemon and ginger one for the pineapple, and I want to do my apple juice. So I'm gonna pour. This is an experiment. I have no idea, but I'm just gonna pour some apple juice in there. And it's the sugar. So basically, what happens in the second fermentation is these bottles have already sat for a few weeks and fermented, done their first fermentation, and so they have a nice little carbonation to them. They're still sweet-ish, but they're, so they're not vinegary at all. They still have a nice sweet flavor to them. They're starting on the edge, and so what you do then is you put it into the bottle for the second fermentation, and you add fruit, and the sugar from the fruit causes a second fermentation, which then is when it gets really carbonated and bubbly. There are times, it's like drinking a healthy soda. Well, most of you know what kombucha in the stores, and I've not found a kombucha in the store that I like at all, and we love ours, and the kids love it, and Rusty loves it. So, and what's nice too is that we found that the kombucha doesn't really affect his blood sugar because it's been fermented down, and it's not fruit juice, and even because the sugar's been eaten by the fermentation process, so it doesn't really affect his blood sugar either. So anyway, that is how I do my second fermentation. I do plan on making a video for you on how I actually brew my kombucha, so I'll probably get started on that soon, hopefully. And I hope you'll have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.